I'm Fiona Kino, and the topic that I'm about to discuss is definitely going to be in question due to the circumstances we are currently in. However, I'm speaking on this topic as a whole. COVID has definitely impacted the way that we interact with one another. For introverted people, a sense of relief might have been felt. On the other hand, for social butterflies having to self-isolate, it might have helped open their eyes to see what they've been taking for granted. Whether it be communicating in person or with the use of technology, relationships are still able to be maintained and or strengthened. However, face-to-face interactions as a whole do provide more benefits. I define face-to-face interactions as being within 14 feet of those involved, and technology-mediated interactions as any interaction, no matter the distance between those involved, taking place with the use of technology. Face-to-face interactions are not only better for one's mental health, but it also provides a better sense of understanding and importance for the speaker as well as for those receiving the message. Communicating face-to-face has less negative impacts on one's mental health compared to technology-based interactions. According to Dr. Alan Teo, an assistant professor of psychiatry at Oregon Health and Science University and researcher at the VA Portland Healthcare System, phone calls and digital communication with friends or family members do not have the same power as face-to-face social interactions in helping to stave off depression. Teo 2015. An article titled Alleviating Depression Only to Become More Problematic Mobile Phone Users. Can Face-to-Face Communication Be the Antidote? In an October 2015 issue of Computers in Human Behavior, goes on to say the amount of time spent on communication activities via mobile phone, texting, emails, and social network sites will be positively associated with problematic use of mobile phone, also known as PUMP. Kim et al. 2015. It's also stated that the present study suggests that those who have a high level of depression would rely on mobile phone as an attempt for temporary relief, but eventually they are more likely to deteriorate into PUMP. Kim et al. 2015. Although communicating through technology has become more accessible and more relied on, it's shown to have negative effects on one's mental health in the long run, more so if the use of technology isn't regulated. Technology-mediated interactions not only lack nonverbal cues, but also the physical support that would be offered if it were face-to-face. As stated in a healthiermichigan.org, with face-to-face interactions, you can see body language, which is an important part of a conversation. Facial expressions often communicates more than words, so there is less of a likelihood of you misinterpreting what someone is saying. Attack of the Screens 2015. When communicating face-to-face, the use of tone, facial expressions, eye contact, and body gestures is used to deliver or emphasize the speaker's message. The speaker can then either complement or enforce their message with these cues to ensure that the receiver has a better understanding. These nonverbal cues are unable to be transmitted through the use of technology, such as texting and or emailing. One may argue that the use of technologies can mimic these expressions and other gestures. However, the meaning of each emoji can change based on when it's used or how it's used. With the interchangeable meanings, there is room for misinterpretations to occur. Although there are many negative impacts with the use of technology as a means to communicate, it's undeniable that it has its positives to recognize. One of the main benefits would be how easy and instantaneous it is to communicate with those who are unable to meet up, to talk to, or for those who are far, with the use of texting and or video calls. For those in different states or other countries, technology-based communication is definitely better than not talking at all. However, it does not replace the importance of taking the time to plan and to go on through with these plans to meet and talk to give the person your full attention. Technology-based communication is more of a substitute for people until they're able to see each other again in person. Technology-based communication may also benefit those who struggle with communication apprehension. Talking behind a screen could provide a sense of security. As Lane and McShann stated in 2015, individuals with social anxiety or isolating behaviors can use the internet to keep in touch with other humans, but the internet does not help them get out to initiate face-to-face contact. Lane and McShann, 2015. Technology-based communication is only temporary. Face-to-face, a person is eventually going to have to talk face-to-face with another person at least once in their life. with using technology as a means to communicate, their anxieties associated with social interactions aren't being addressed. How would the impact of these anxieties be expected to become more imaginable if they're not facing what causes it head on? With that being said, face-to-face communication does hold a higher value than technology-based communication. Both in-person or over-the-phone interactions still remain valid. However, it's evidential that face-to-face interactions are more beneficial. Face-to-face communication provides a better understanding for one's intended meaning by leaving less room for misinterpretations, as well as a better well-being of one's mental health. We're still in pandemic, so if you do choose to talk face-to-face, make sure you're 6 feet apart to make sure that you're healthy mentally and physically. Thanks!